You might be wondering too how I ended up in Nashville, Tennessee, and how we knew God's sense of calling on our lives. I think that was the question, is how did we know that God was calling us to music? I had this person in my life that was super annoying. Good morning, beautiful people. It is early, really early. And it's even earlier because today we are in Dayton, Tennessee, which is East Tennessee, which means there's been a time change from what we're used to, because we're normally on Central Time. Now it's Eastern Time, so it's even earlier for us now that we're on the time change. I've got my coffee mug here with Frosty the Snowman. It's super early, and Emily is already decked out. We're here because we are at Bryan College this morning, and we're excited. We got a full day. We're going to go and lead worship for their chapel this morning. About to have to go get the kids up and get ready because we got to go over there and sound check and get ready to go.
Good morning. Good morning.
It takes you We'll just say it takes me 5 minutes to get ready.
That's just not fair. He has no hair. Here's the thing.
Okay, but that's not a choice.
And for any of the moms that feel me out there, I lost like half of my hair with June, so I have all these amazing little tufts of nothingness that are just like this in the morning. So they've been tamed. They're all hidden, I think.
I wish I had tufts of hair.
You have a sprinkling.
The Lord saw fit to make my hair fall through, and it didn't come back up again. But thankfully I have hair on my beard. You ever wonder why I have a beard? That's why.
Compensating.
I hope that's not true, but it might be. Also at chapel this morning, we're going to be sharing a few of our songs kind of as like an appetizer for a concert that we're doing tonight at Bryan. But also today at about noon, there's a class that meets here that's about worship and theology. And so we're going to join them in their class today at noon, and we're going to talk some about worship, about our thoughts on worship, about our experiences in worship and worshiping with different groups of people, which is something that we uniquely get to do, getting to travel and visit different kinds of churches. And so we're going to talk a little bit just about the differences we've experienced, how we go into different churches and serve different groups of people. It's going to be a fun full day, and we just thought we would take you along with us.
This is the lovely Rebecca Warren, hashtag honorary little sister.
She's been with us at camp multiple times. Rebecca helped us get in chapel today. And we're doing about a 45-minute worship set, but Rebecca's nervous because
I'm giving an announcement, and then I'm introducing Emily and Jonathan because I was like, I want to introduce them. They're my people. Like, let me do it.
but
And
you're
then,
just so nervous.
Yeah, the last time I gave an announcement in chapel, I froze and I forgot what I was supposed to say. And then when I was up there, I was like, well, I don't know anything else to say, so I guess you guys can look at me for the next 30 seconds. And I was like, this is really scary. And I don't want to do that again.
Rebecca.
I don't think I'm gonna do this one. Look, I don't like those scratches.
Buddy, those scratches are good. Those scratches mean you've played so hard. Well, while Judah is literally rolling down the hill, I just thought I would take a minute to come and say hi and update you on our day. We had an amazing time as we led worship at Bryan College's chapel service, and then we got to meet in a classroom with the worship arts students and talk with them just about life and ministry and music. It was so much fun. Later tonight, we still have a concert where we're gonna share our songs and just share our hearts behind the songs. But we did have a minute to come outside to play a little bit, and I just thought I would take a second to come and record this video and talk with you, because when we went to the class and we were talking with the worship art students, I just started thinking about this story that I don't know that I've really shared with you all, because we talked about how we started in music, how we ended up in Nashville, Tennessee, and it just made me think fondly of this story. And so I just wanted to share with you, because you might be wondering too how I ended up in Nashville, Tennessee, and how we knew God's sense of calling on our lives. I think that was the question, is how did we know that God was calling us to music? I feel like I can see God's hand in how he has led me down this path of music and songwriting in a really clear way. And the clearest way was when I was in high school. So you need some backstory in order to really understand the dynamics of what was happening. But basically, I grew up in a kind of musical family. My mom was a choir teacher in middle school choirs. She also taught piano for a lot of my life growing up. And my dad was a worship leader, but he was the kind of worship leader that does a lot of choir and orchestra, and just not the kind of worship leading that I necessarily do today. So they both were musicians. They were both career musicians, and that was kind of my perception of what you needed to do in order to have a career in music, was you needed to be willing to teach or lead choirs, orchestras, or band. And to be honest, that's just really not me. But I do enjoy music, and so in middle school, I joined the worship team of our youth group, and that's where I learned to play keys. That's where I learned to play guitar, the acoustic guitar. That's where I learned to sing harmonies, and I learned to even lead worship. And then when I was 15, I started experimenting with writing songs, and I really began to have a passion for songwriting. Also, later in high school, as I began to write more and more songs, I held these little concert events where I just got to share my songs, and I got to share my heart behind the songs. And that was just my little dabbling in that in my little hometown in Lufkin, Texas, Southeast Texas. But whenever I had to decide what I wanted to do with my life out of high school, going into college, I really had no idea what I wanted to do. And I had kind of just sworn off music as a career because, again, what I had seen were my parents who were teachers, and they had taught a lot of music, and I just didn't really want to teach music. And so I had sworn off music because I was like, I really don't want to be a music teacher. I don't want to be a choir director. Don't want to be a band director. So I'm just not going to do music. I'm going to go to college, and I decided to go to Mary Hardin Baylor and pursue Christian studies. And I didn't really know what I was going to do with that, but that's what I had decided to do. I even went as far as to have a roommate in a room assignment set and ready to go. That's how committed I was to going to Mary Hardin Baylor. I had this person in my life that was super annoying, but the best kind of annoying, and I'm forever grateful that he pestered me and annoyed me. And that guy was a youth pastor and kind of like a second dad to me. His name is Jason Fullen, and he had been investing in me since I was in about 6th grade. He had really just poured into me. He'd welcomed me in his home. He became my friend and my mentor, and he had seen me develop in these giftings and these talents of leading worship and writing songs, and he knew my passion in regards to those things. And so whenever I told him that I wasn't going to do music in any way, shape, or form, and that I was going to Mary Hardin Baylor and I was going to do Christian studies, and I was really stubborn about it, he challenged me on it, and it was really annoying. He consistently just kept asking me, like, what are you doing? So you're not going to look into anything musical? And I was like, no, I am doing what I'm doing, Jason. Until finally, one day, we sat in a Starbucks, and he pulled out information about Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. And again, I was like, ugh, Jason, leave me alone. But I listened and I looked at the information, and I began to see that there might be other career options for me in music. But I still just kind of thought, there's no way. Where I grew up, people don't just move 12 hours away from home to go to college, especially not 12 hours away to Nashville, Tennessee. But as I looked into it, my heart kind of began to swell and I began to have this sense of longing, and I auditioned and I ended up getting accepted in kind of the last minute. And then all of a sudden my life was changed. And a few months later, I was supposed to be heading to Nashville, Tennessee to go to college to pursue music. All because I had a really annoying youth pastor mentor in my life who was willing to annoy me and to prod me along and encourage me, and I am forever grateful for him. Jason, if you're watching this, I'm just so thankful for you, and I know I've told you this before, but seriously, anytime I'm doing pretty much anything, I'm just so thankful for your involvement in my life, because I just wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing today if it hadn't been for you and if it hadn't been for the Lord leading me through you. And so I just wanted to tell you that story, because if you're not sure what you're supposed to do or where God might be calling you, one of the clearest ways that I think God leads us and kind of directs us in our sense of calling, one of the clearest ways he's done that in my life has been through other people, has been through people who know me, who know my giftings and my talents and my passions, who even know my pitfalls, and who are willing to lovingly challenge me and lovingly encourage me in what they see that God is doing in my life. And I am so thankful for that. I'm so thankful not only for my career, I'm so thankful that I get to do music and ministry for a living, but also if Jason hadn't encouraged me to go to Nashville, I never would have met Emily. I wouldn't have my wife and my kids and really just the whole life that I have now. And so I am so thankful for the Lord's leading in my life through other people, through even annoying people. And so let people into your life. Let people in that will annoy you and bother you. People who can know you, people who annoy you and bother you because they love you and they want the best for you, and because they see something in you that maybe you don't see. Because sometimes it's really hard to know ourselves. Sometimes it's really hard to be self-aware and to see what God is doing in us. And we need other people to look into our lives and to speak into our lives. I really think that's one of the big roles of the church, is for us to be able to speak into each other's lives and to be God's leading hand in each other's lives. And so that's just my encouragement to you. Was just thinking fondly of my friend Jason and his willingness to just annoy the tar out of me and encourage me to pursue music. So I've got to go because we got our concert tonight. I got to go get ready, but love you all. Thank you so much for watching yet another video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel, and you can click the little bell as well to know whenever we're releasing brand new videos. You'll get a little notification. We release a new video pretty much every Friday. And take a second to comment and say hi. If you're watching these videos, we want to know who you are. We'd love to talk with you, so leave us comments, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.